If you have multiple self-defenders against an armed robber, you gotta work as a team. Hi everyone, this is John with today's active self-protection lesson out of the area where I was raised, Hayward, California. We're gonna see here an armed robbery. It goes really badly for the armed robbers. And learn some important lessons there about launching a counter ambush, about working as a team, and about dominating an attacker to end a threat against you. This armed robber you can see with a gun pointed at this first guy's head. He's come and ambushed him, and unfortunately we don't see the very beginning of it. That part of the video wasn't released. And he's trying to get the guy to open the register, and his buddy comes up and grabs him right around the head, and now the fight is on. And I love that they're working together here to tackle this guy and to get his gun away from him. As we move over to the behind the register camera, we see him, he's got the gun away from the guy, and they're trying to get him to stop fighting, and they're just pretty well beating the tar out of him here to get the guy to quit fighting them and not to, hurt themselves. So finally we break some time quite a ways, and police show up, secure the gun, whatever. And I did want to show the fact that this guy was beat up pretty bad. By the time the cops get there and get him off him, he is gonna spend some time in recovery. Let's go back here and look up some of the lessons here, and there are 8 of them on our website. Make sure you click through the link in the description. But let's talk about some of the most important ones now. And the first one here is that as a defender, you're always operating from the drop. This guy's got a gun stuck right in his face. And what did you do in that instance? He's got a gun stuck right to the back of his head. If you've got a lot of empty-handed training, he might have been able to get him there, but most people don't. We're not going to give him a hard time about that. But his friend here is going to come up behind this guy and launch a counter ambush. And he does so quietly. And if you're going to fight against somebody, you got to fight like with everything you have. And he goes up behind him and just grabs him by the head. Now, that's certainly controlling all of him, but you notice the guy still has a gun in his hand, and that could be very, very dangerous. Thankfully, his friend thinks, and he's going to go for the gun. And what we're going to watch here is you see him here. He grabs a hold of that arm with the gun, and now they're working in a pair. And if you got a partner that you're working with as a self-defender, you got to work together to maximize your chances here of defending yourself. And because he has a partner beating that guy up about the head and shoulders, he's able to focus on just getting the gun away from him. And he clearly does that. The guy who's got him by the head still has him by the head, and now he's got the gun in his hand. You can see right there they've disarmed him, and now he's using the gun as a club. Is it a wise thing to use a gun as a club? I don't think I would do so personally, though it's a heavy implement, so it works and it does effectively. Now, you should ask the question here legally, is this okay that they're beating this guy on the head? Well, we can't see whether the guy is resisting. The camera doesn't show that angle, but we're going to give him certainly the benefit of the doubt for having been attacked like that. So we're just going to say, because we don't have any evidence to the contrary, that these guys were just trying to get this guy to quit fighting him and quit being a threat against him and then hold him for the cops. But of course, we want to remind ourselves that we use proportional force to keep ourselves safe, that in the moment, they certainly could have used deadly force when the guy pointed a gun at him, but we don't want to retaliate and punish. Instead, we want to protect and we want to defend ourselves. These guys did that here. So they worked in a tandem, they launched a great counter ambush, they gave this guy a little bit of his just desserts, and they covered their asp.